Hey fellas, so I'm fixing to go to Ace Hardware and get some screw type of stuff to get the 55 going, where I stripped out those screws in the bulkhead. But I've already been out and about this morning because I saw something on Facebook Marketplace, like we all do, and I knew that if I didn't hurry up and go, then it would be gone by this evening. And so what it was is this guy. So now bear with me, and before you type in the comments and try and correct me, just listen. So I saw this and I said, oh yeah, basically all they had was a picture about like that. And so you couldn't tell much about it at all. But I knew these are rare and it could possibly go for a lot of money. I have no desire for this saw whatsoever. It doesn't fit into any kind of criteria that I would have for myself. And so this was going to be a flip for me. However, whenever I showed up there, I'm looking at it. We struck a deal. And then I see this. $281. So this right here is what first clued me in, because the only difference between the 288 XP Lite and the 288 XP, from what I read on the internet anyways, is that the Lite does not have this extra anti-vibration setup. And the Lite also never had a high top. So this, to me, I was looking at it and I was like, wait a minute, it's not supposed to have that. And nobody would have just put it on there, I don't think anyways. And then that's whenever I looked at the tag and it said it's a 281. Of course, my mind immediately started spinning and going, for a 5 cube class, this is the leading saw to build for a 5 cube race saw. So basically I was immediately like, well, now am I going to flip it and try and make money? Or am I going to take it and try and turn it into a racer? And you guys got to understand my racing thing. Now, don't get me wrong, in 2, 3, 4, 5 years time, everything might look completely different. But for right now, all I'm trying to do is gather up stuff to compete with. I really don't care about being competitive. But, so, if I can get that thing ported up and, just get it to where I'm not embarrassing myself, don't bring a stock saw, and show up like that, then sure, yeah, I'll run it. I'll run that thing. In Alabama, there's a race in Alabama. It's about 4 hours from me. And that's around my birthday, which is December the 3rd. And so I think it's usually right there, December 5th or something like that, like the first weekend of December. I think it's when they have it. And so I'm really hoping to go there this year and run a few saws and just have fun. Those guys were extremely gracious and nice, and I want to be a part of that party. And I don't care if I win or not, but to have something to compete, like I don't want to take my Poland 4000 and compete in the 5 cube class just because that's all I got. I don't want to be that kind of embarrassed, you know what I mean? So, but anyways, I don't exactly know what I'm going to do with it yet, but I'll probably keep it, and I'll probably, just keep it as my 5 cube race saw. And so at this point, I've got everything. I've got several saws that I could build for the 3 cube class. I've got something secret that I'm working on for Black Magic with Brennan Cass. This is the first that you guys have ever heard of this. I sent the saw to him. I think like 2 or 3 days ago. He should be getting it in a few days. And me and him have a secret plan going on. And that's a little black magic is what I call it. It's the Poland 3.3. And actually, it's the Craftsman 3.3. So, um, and I'm going to play with that, and that's going to be fun. It's just going to be fun, right? And then for the 4 cube class, I currently have 2 options that I will be working on. One is the Poland 4000. Don't get me wrong with this. I do not in any way expect that thing to ever be competitive. But I will turn it up. I will do some porting on it. I'll do some other things, and it'll be good with a race chain. I don't think that I'll be. I mean, those saws are cutting through in like 3 seconds flat, and so is my 4.5 seconds flat going to look that embarrassing? I don't know. I don't think so. But I also have 365 XP, or I'm sorry, 365 Special. So if I want to build that for that class, then I will. I'll have that. And then for the 4 cubic inch class, I have the Shindaiwa 757. We're covered there, right? For the 6 cubic inch class, I can always run my 592. I can always run my 592. I'm kind of wishing that I hadn't got rid of the 2100, but I did. That's fine, whatever. But I could always run my 592 for the 6 cube. And then, of course, I've still got the 3120. If I wanted to pipe that up and do the hot saw class, I could do that. So, from my perspective, I'm like, wow, I've got all these saws. Whenever you first start in on that, you see these guys pull out there, and they got their pickup truck, and they pull out like 8 saws. All of which you're going, oh my God, and you're counting up the money how much each one of those saws cost, and you're like, geez, but if you're in the hobby and you just roll with it, over time, you end up being one of those guys. It's not like those guys all went out and dropped $8,000 on saws just for this one event. No, they built up to it. They built up to it over the years. And I guess that's where I'm at. I mean, I was so excited whenever I found out it was a 281, and I was like, I'm talking with my wife. I'm like, I think I'm going to be one of those guys. I'm going to be one of those guys that goes and actually does the racing. And right now my aspirations are very low. It's not like I expect to roll in 7 saws deep or so and just win. No, I'm not expecting that whatsoever. I just want to go hang out and have fun and run some cool saws and act like a total dork out there for the crowd too. I mean, if you watch the channel, you know me. I'm like, woo! I take my shirt off and stuff. So anyways, I'm happy about it. I'm happy, as odd as it seems, because my plan was immediately I'm going to clean that up real nice, get it to run real nice, and just put it on eBay and sell it. It'd probably go for, I don't know, $500. And so I've made a little bit of coin, right? But then once it became a 281, I was like, oh, well, shoot, I could sell the brake. The brake might bring me, might somewhere between 50 and $100 probably. A full brake setup like that thing has. Possibly sell the starter cover, replace them with China crap. Because if I'm building a race saw, who cares? I don't care. So, yeah. Just thought I'd share. It's got good compression. The guy says it'll fire up, but then it won't run anymore. It bogs and wants to stop. Probably, I probably won't even mess with it. I'll clean it up, throw new crank seals at it, new fuel lines, new carb kit. Boom. Should run. You know? That's what I think. This there obviously got dropped. Bent a little bit, but that's the good thing about it being metal. You just bend it back. Plastic doesn't really want to bend back so much. 24-inch bar. We good. I'm good. I'll have that bar to use on a different project if I want. You know? Because ain't nobody really running a 24-inch bar on a race saw. Unless they're cutting 24-inch wood. Alright, that's enough. I gotta run to Ace. Get the screws that I need for this 55. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put inserts. There it is. No, that's not it. Right here. So there it is. There's the bulkhead, the JB Weld. It's dried up. What I think I'm going to do, the JB Weld might have been useless to me because I think I'm going to try and find bolts and inserts, drill that out, and shove inserts in there. That way I can take it on and off as much as I want. You know, that plastic shit. Tim, I hear you on your deck screw thing, and I'm going to be looking for those too. I might use those. The inserts might be too big. Might not be able to drill out that plastic enough for them. And so we just play it by ear, see where we go with it. Anyways, that's enough.